Greetings, this is Slushworks. Welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut. This is the engineer, right here. We're just going to use Cram on Slosh. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump here, use our cyberware deactivator. And that's taken his action points down. We have used that on our new objective is apparently to clear the area of Rambok gangers. I don't necessarily know what that means, but I'm going to go up here and I'm going to get a fire elemental out, because I don't know what is going to happen now. So if I put him down here, he can see that way. And let's see what's going to happen now. I think we're going to need to do some hastes and stuff. Okay, there's two of them over there. There's two of them over there. So if I haste myself, I'm going to just haste Iger. I know it's probably not the best decision, but we do have, if we think about it, line of sight is blocked. Okay, so where can we go to shoot them then? We can move her there and see if we can get them from there. Can we get them? We can get you 73 to 83. Excellent. One. Oh, come on. Oh, what? Okay, 14% chance. What? Why? Why is that broken? What did I do wrong? It's craziness. Okay, so if I haste myself and use my last fetish, my very last... What happened? Why didn't I use that? I wanted to. That's weird. I don't know what just happened then, but 63% on you. I'd really like you to die. Enough ammo, so we'll change to our shotgun and we will fire this dude. Oh, that's beautiful. Haha, you missed! And he's on fire. He's running away. That hurt more than I was expecting. So we'll use our fetish there. And let's jump up here and what we got here? Okay, we're gonna have to get him to run. He has to go out here. Gotta take the chance, see if we can do it. Let's heal Iger because she's wounded for 14. And let's get Iger to do some damage. She's gonna have to reload, but she does still have those multiple turns, which is a good thing. So, I'd really like to get this one down. Mostly because it's the one that's already damaged, but oh man, okay. I can't hit either of them. Am I damaged? I don't think I was, but I used it by... Oh, that's not okay, you sons of bitches. Let's, haste you. There you go, Iger. You've got a few... You can aim shot we can do on this one, 83%. Oh, come on, she's right there. Come on! Thank you! What the hell? Aim shot on you, 51%. We missed, of course we did. 4 damage isn't something I'm too concerned about though. So let's strip some armor. And you can come all the way over here with your shotgun and 51%. Yeah, I was okay with that. I'm going to run Iger all the way there. He's going to probably get one shot off, but that's also okay. I'm not too concerned. I don't know if there's more up there, though. Acid bolt for you. And another one. And one more for good luck. There we go. Clear the area of Rambok gangers complete. Iger says, help me drag this guy back to the warehouse. We're going to find out what he knows. So he kind of did okay there. But I don't know how this is going to go. Oh, he's lying on the ground. The engineer lies splayed out on the ground, his body trembling violently. Iger shoves a bottle up his nose and squeezes. The engineer shudders violently. Then the trembling begins to subside. She glances at you. An aerosol BZD to help treat the seizures. Bannock was kind enough to include it in his goodie bag. It won't last long, but it should give Yuli here enough muscular control to answer a few questions. Fuck you, troll. See, he's talking already. The engineer's eyes burn with hate. Beads of sweat dot his brow as he struggles to control the tremors that rack his body. He takes a deep breath, holds it, and releases it slowly. The trembling begins to subside. Feeling better, Yuli? Ready to chat? Slowly the orc's eyes shift from Iga to you. I know the troll bitch. We have history, but you are a stranger to me. Are you sure that you have the stomach for this stranger? Not many do. I have the stomach for all sorts of things. Things that you can't even imagine. The Shadowrunner thinks he can frighten me. His voice sounds stronger now. The stutter that marred his speech has almost completely faded away. How adorable. Oh, Yuli, you should be frightened. She slaps him across the face, splitting his lip down the middle. The impact sounds like a gunshot. You're in serious trouble, my friend. Iga leans in toward the engineer. He recoils, grinding the back of his head against the grease-stained Duraplast tiles. You're helpless. A fucking cripple. Her voice comes out in a snarl. But if you answer our questions, things will go easier for you. So tell us, whose payroll are you on? She grabs a fistful of the orc's hair and lifts his head. Her face is inches from his. Tell us who sent you to the Shat Nest. There is a long pause. Eventually, the engineer looks away. All right. You want to know so badly, I'll tell you. Tamanius sent me here. They want to use Shat Nest as a base of operations in Berlin. My point of contact is a ghoul named Beetle. He leans forward and locks eyes with Iga. There, you've got your intel, now set me free or kill me. Yuli. Iga leans back, shaking her head. You wouldn't roll over an employer this easily. Your rep tells me that much. He raises an eyebrow in a look of mock astonishment. No? No, Iga's right, you're just jerking us around. You wanted a name, I gave you a name. Want more? I can give you those too. I can name you 100 clients who'd love a piece of Shat Nest. How do you intend to determine who really sent me? I've got a couple of ideas. The engineer smirks. You can try beating the truth out of me, you can try cutting on me. Get creative with the pliers if you like. Every time you hurt me, I'll give you a different name. You're a bit of a badass, aren't you? Torture me or don't, it'll all end the same way. I'll be dead, you'll know nothing for certain, and my clients will move ahead on schedule. Cooperate, and maybe it doesn't have that way you can get out of here alive. Help us out then if you're already dead, if I care about being a snitch. I won't give your she-troll the satisfaction. She wants it, that's why she won't get it. Iga's hands bunch into fists. She's still smiling, but you can feel the heat of hatred behind her eyes. If you don't start telling me what I want to hear in the next 30 seconds, this is going to get messy. I know that look, Yuli. I'd start talking if I were. The engineer cuts you off. A perverse smile has spread itself across his face. You know, Iga? He takes his time pronouncing the name, savors it. I'd like to tell you a story. We share so much history, you and I. Iga says nothing, but her eyes narrow. The engineer continues, his grin broadening. This is a funny story. It's a story about your time in the KSK, a story about futility. I can tell you all about the many lives you've touched and how the syndicates touched them again afterwards. Would you like that? There is a long pause. Eventually, Iga turns to face you. Slosh, do me a favour, sweep the building for intel, anything that we might have missed out on the way in. Yeah, you can kill him, that's fine. Yeah, I'm on it. Take good care of our friend here. She shoots a disgusted glance at your captive. Yeah, don't worry, I will. I really don't actually want to run into people though, because I'll die. Chemical storage barrels alight. Jostle shows that they're completely empty. We have a courier drone here. It looks melted. The cargo container is empty. There's a door over here though. There's nothing in there that we can do. There's a corpse here. Ooh, a corpse. The broken body of a human man lies on the floor. His face is a mess of fresh cuts and congealing blood, and his head is oddly deformed. Despite his wounds, his mouth is twisted into a macabre smile. So we'll inspect the body. Judging by the shape of the ganger's head, you'd guess that his skull has been fractured in at least 3 places. The centre of his forehead is particularly gruesome. It looks soft. As though the skin was stretched like a tent between shards of broken bone. Looking up, you see a great smear of gore on the door of the room that you found him in. The implications are clear. The man bashed his own head in trying to get out, and he did it with a smile on his face. His hands are badly broken too. You've seen those sorts of injuries after bare-knuckle fistfights. I broke my hand on a wall a couple of times. It's not good, but never anything this severe. This man punched something hard and went on punching until his hands were reduced to useless slabs of meat. I'm going to step away. There's nothing else I can do there. Shall I go down here and have a look? I mean, is there anything else here? There's a forklift over there, but is there anything I can see on the forklift? We can look at it, I guess. The forklift's tires are flat, looks like it hasn't been used in years. Well, that was definitely worth running all the way down there. Thank you so much for your information. Come on, let's get back here and see if she's killed him yet. As you approach, you can see the engineer's chest is sheeted with blood. Most of it seems to be streaming from his nose, which has been crushed into a wad of bloody meat. Ica turns to face you, her bunched fists are dripping red. Find anything? She speaks to you through clenched teeth. Her voice sounds strained and her cheeks are flushed. Having fun? I'm not doing this for fun, I'm doing it because he deserves it. If you knew half of what this bastard has done, if you'd heard the things that he's just told me, you'd do the same. Maybe so, but you're on edge and I need you calm. Beating on him isn't helping. Just tell me what you found. Yes, please. Enlighten us. The engineer's voice is thick and wet. He smiles through a set of gore-streaked teeth. I found a body in the other room. From the looks of it, he tried to use his head to beat down a steel-reinforced door. Interesting, but not unusual in these parts. There are all kinds of drugs that can make a person act that way, and most of them aren't hard to get in a place like Shatnest. Have you found anything else? I must have missed. I'll keep searching. What have I missed? There's nothing else here. What am I supposed to find? There's a ledger. Oh, there we go. Didn't see that last time. There's a small ledger lying on this crate. The cover is cheap leatherette and the paper is tissue thin. The pages are filled to overflowing with handwritten text. You don't recognise the language, but judging by the accent marks, you'd guess it's a Scandinavian tongue. While you can't read it, the arrangement of the text tells you that the ledger is primarily being used as an address book. Okay, there we go. We got the ledger. I guess that's everything. I found this ledger. I don't recognise the language, but it looks Scandinavian. Norwegian, maybe. I'm thinking that this is written in Bokmal. I can't read it, but it looks like a shipping manifest. Yeah, something like that. There are a lot of addresses in there. Looks like addresses all the way through. Some are annotated, but I can't see any names. 2/3 of the way through the book, she stops short. Find something interesting. Wordlessly, she turns the journal around. At the top of the page, written in a different hand, is a single word. It's written in English, but you can understand it all the same. Wednesday. She nods. You're not particularly helpful without a full day, but I guess it's something. Of course, Wednesday might not refer to a day of the week at all. It could be code for something. Taken out of context like this, it's impossible to say. So what do you make of this? This should be good. Ah, he's a dickhead. Oh, it might be nothing, or it could mean he's back in bed with the lot. Chesky Syndicate? The engineer holds his silence. Is that it, Yuli? Are you taking orders from your old bosses again? He pauses a moment before croaking an answer. Maybe. Who's to say? What's happening on Wednesday, Yuli? His mouth turns into a bloody grin. This Wednesday? I'll be putting your mother to work on the street corner, and when she's all worn out, I'll give your father a shot at the job. You could do better than that. Go die in a ditch. Did you find anything else? We need to be sure about this before moving forward. Must have missed something. I'll keep searching. Seriously, there's nothing else here. Nothing's showing up. I mean, nothing's showing up. I've already searched that. There's nothing here. I've already looked at the forklift. Nothing's showing up. Like, literally, I'm pressing Alt here, nothing's doing. I looked at the courier drone before. Guess I have to look at it again. I did look at it before, though. This generic courier drone has been snapped together out of prefab. I swear I looked at this before. It's a cheap utilitarian thing, remarkable only in that is so incredibly plain. A half-bright teenager could cobble something like this together in an afternoon. The drone sits in a charging cradle, its turbofan unpowered. A cheerful green light blinks on its front panel to remind you that it's still active. You can see the silhouette of something under the flimsy plastic dome of the drone's cargo compartment. Whatever this thing was here to deliver, it's still carrying it. Let's pop the lid. You depress the catch on the container's plastic lid. Rather than swing open, the lid slides back to reveal a touchpad. It looks as though this thing is password locked. I'm going to use my intelligence and examine it more closely. Taking a closer look, you notice something strange. There are a set of electrical contact plates lining the lip of the drone's cargo compartment. It's a fair bet that this thing is outfitted with an anti-tampering system of some type. Wednesday. Brilliant. The plastic lid of the cargo container pops open with a click. Inside you find what appears to be a homemade SimSense chip. It sits securely in a custom-made plastic bracket. The chip. Pop the chip out of the bracket and pocket it. A few seconds later, an angry hissing sound comes from somewhere deep within the drone. As you step away from the drone, the hissing sound grows into a roar. Bright white sparks spit out from the drone's melting chassis and streak across the room. You've seen this kind of reaction before. Thermite. Whoever built this drone must have wired it with a self-destruct. In seconds, all that's left of the little drone is a molten wreck on the charging cradle. Foul-smelling smoke pours from the remains. Still another glance at the chip that you've recovered and turn away. Wednesday, hey? Wednesday's the code for the chip. Hey, buddy. Tell me about this chip. There are a pair of courier drones in the other room. No markings, they look custom built. One of them had been slagged and the other had this chip in its storage compartment. When you produce the chip, the engineer's eyes widen slightly. He turns his head and coughs, racking his body. Interesting. This means something to you, Yuli. Iger takes the chip from you and holds it up to the light. No identifying markings. I've seen enough BTLs in my life to know one when I see it, but this is different. It's been modified somehow. Go ahead and slot it, bitch. It'll take you on the ride of your life. Smack him for me, will you? I'm busy. Hit him. Your fist connects with the ruined meat of the engineer's nose. He coughs, chokes on his own blood, and then spits a wad of it onto your chest. You don't know what you're holding, Slag. He spits the worm out like venom. His lips are locked on the chip in Iger's hand. Slowly he licks his lips. You don't deserve to touch that chip. I think you're right, Iger. Our friend here is an addict. The engineer glances at you with a snarl. Fuck you. The thing is, I know our friend's rep. I'm telling you, he's much too careful to get himself addicted to Sims. If these things have him hooked this badly, they must be even more addictive than standard BTLs. Good thing I've got etiquette straight. Pretty sure I just picked that up. This wouldn't be the first time that something like this has hit the street. Talk about enough Sim junkies and you hear all about it. Interesting. Tell me more. There's a sort of legend out on the streets. The ultimate high, they call it 2XS. Never heard of it. Supposedly it hit the streets of Seattle a couple of years ago. It vanished after a couple of months, then one day, gone the next. No one knows why. Scary stuff. I haven't heard rumours of anything like that around here, thank God. I'm not saying that this is 2XS, or even anything like it, but there are Sims out there that are even stronger than BTLs. It's possible that this is one of them. She turns to face the engineer. You got anything to add to that, Yuli? And she has a sip of her scotch. You have no idea how wrong you are about all of this. He struggles to rise from the floor, but his muscles refuse to cooperate. Finally, he gives up with a scowl. If I could move my arms, I'd take that chip from you and show you what it does. I'm sure that you would. Good find, Slosh. We've struck it over. Any other thoughts? Yeah, actually, I think that I might know where the other chip went. Remember that body I found in the other room? Yeah, good thought. Go check it out, but be quick. I don't know how long it'll be before we have company here. So something's going to go horribly wrong, but I reckon if we go in here, we're going to be able to find the other chip. Search for the missing chip. Peeling back a patch of matted hair, you find something that a casual viewer would have missed. The man had a chip jack. It was a cheap model, sufficient for holding SimSense chips and BTLs, but little else. It doesn't take much effort for you to pry it open. Inside the chip jack, you find a glob of plastic. It looks as though whatever this guy was running melted down sometime after he slotted it. A chip jack like this couldn't generate enough heat to destroy a SimSense chip. The only logical conclusion is that the chip itself was wired to melt down after use. So we've got the chip. People are going to come soon, man. We got to get out of here, Iger. This isn't cool, man. We got to go. The engineer's eyes remain locked on the chip. His face has gone pallid white and his shirt is drenched with sweat. His eyes bulge and his breathing is heavy. Iger glances up from your manic captive and looks you in the eye. Find what you were looking for? Yeah, of course, man. I pried his chip jack open and found a blob of melted plastic inside. It was still warm to touch. I've heard of things like this. Single-use Sims designed to self-destruct after they're slotted. Keeps the customers from reusing the same BTL over and over. I'd say that you found our missing chip. This isn't a BTL. BTLs don't make you cave your own skull in. The engineer lets out a chuckle. It's a horse barking sound. You don't know a damned thing. Why don't you educate us? The chip doesn't drive you insane. It opens your eyes. Slot one and you become a god. Iger stares at him, her expression flat. The engineer sneers. I, too, was a skeptic. The wolf caught me and the raven opened my eyes, and now at last I can see. Suddenly he lurches forward. Every muscle in his body goes tight and the cords stand out in his neck. Give me the chip. It was promised to me. I need it. Tell us who you're working for and it's all yours. The engineer spits out a mouthful of blood. It hits the tile floor with a sickening splat. He grinds his teeth and snarls out a single word. Tonight. There is a moment of silence. Finally, Iger speaks. Never heard of them. Of course you haven't, bitch. If you had, you'd already be dead. They don't leave loose ends. His body begins to tremble. It looks like the drugs are wearing off. They have money, sheet troll. Money and influence enough to put the syndicates to shame. Even I cannot say how much, but I do know that what I've seen is just the tip of the spear. Alright, let's say that you're telling the truth and some sort of secret society is behind this. What do they want with Shattered Nest? They do not tell me these things. All I know is that they want to store things here. Crates, boxes, shipped in from all over. No cargo inspectors and not traces back to them. What are they shipping in? Weapons, drugs, more of these BTLs? Do you think that I asked them? It is not my place to know. All that I know is what was promised to me. Give me the chip. His voice comes out in a shivering screech. You promised. He promised you the chip. Iga smiles at the engineer. Slowly she pulls a knife from her belt. Its serrated edge glints in the light. I, on the other hand, didn't offer you a goddamn thing. Maybe we should just let him slot the thing. She looks at the chip in her fingers, then down at the engineer's trembling body. Slowly a smile spreads across her face. Not unless he sweetens the deal. You hear that, Yuli? I'll give you what you want, but you need to make it worth my while. I have a stash here in this warehouse, a custom rifle. It's all yours if you give me what is mine. I could use a new rifle. What do you think, fearless leader? Once we know where the stash is, give them the chip. In the corner, there's a duffel bag under the floor plate. Now give it to me. Iga leans in and grabs the engineer's head with her left hand, then pries his chip jack open with her right. She slaps the chip into the jack and clicks it shut. Nothing happens. What have you done? Why don't I feel anything? Oh, sorry, Yuli. I guess that the cyberware deactivator shut down your chip jack too. Somewhere in the back of that addled skull. I'm sure that you probably knew that. But then hope springs eternal, doesn't it? I said that we give you the chip. I never promised that it would work. I'm going to kill you. Do you hear me? I'll rip out your spine. I never promised I'd let you live either, Iga. The blade of her knife glints in the light. You don't have to ask me twice. Suddenly, the engineer's entire body bucks forward. His eyes bulge out of his skull and he beats the back of his head against the floor. He opens his mouth to speak, but the only sound that comes out is a gurgling scream. I could take a step back. Something's wrong. Look at his hands. The orc's mil-spec cyber arms are twitching. His fingers seem to move of their own accord, writhing aimlessly in the air. The light on his chipjack begins to blink. How long was that cyberware deactivator supposed to last? Longer than this. I only killed Bannock when... The engineer's body surges forward, a violent convulsive motion. His eyes bulge out of his skull and his chest evaporates in a spray of light. Whoa. Step back, Slosh. Way back. Whoa. As you watch, the chemical fire that rages from the engineer's body blackens his flesh and spits sparks across the room. It's the same reaction that you saw when the drone went up, a thermite reaction. It takes him a full minute to stop twitching. His employers, they must have implanted that thing in him. Yeah, and judging by the way that he reacted, he didn't know that they'd done it. They must have thrown it in him while he was getting other work done. I'm willing to bet that if we hadn't used the sideway deactivator on him, he'd have gone up before he had the chance to split any gnomes. I think the proof is there. That proof is in the pudding. Yep, we know who to warn the Flux State about. Let's grab the rifle and go. We're done here. Let's get the rifle. You reach into the vent and retrieve a navy blue duffel bag, just as the engineer said you. The distinctive shape of a rifle barrel can be seen through the canvas. Here you go, Iga. It's all yours. She takes the bag from you and unzips it. Her eyes go wide. When he said that this was custom, he wasn't kidding. Gingerly, she reaches into the bag and pulls out a sleek, angular shape. This is a Steyr AUG CSL multi-weapon system, a very nice and very expensive piece of hardware. Yuli put a lot of aftermarket work into this. I don't even recognize some of the accessories he's bolted onto this thing. You feel comfortable using it? She shoulders the rifle and peers through its scope. A grin grows on her face. Yes. Yes, I do. It looks like these aftermarket mods have more or less locked it into an assault rifle configuration, but that's alright. I've been looking for a worthy mid-range weapon, and this will do nicely. Come on, fearless leader, let's get back home. No, I'm not taking on Winter Knight. Let's go. Right behind you. I don't know if there's going to be any combat. I don't know if something bad's going to happen on the way out. I'm really not sure. Let's find out as we go, hey? Return to the cruise base. Excellent. We somehow managed to pull all of that off. That was a lot of talking, guys. Thanks for putting out with me through all of that. The U-Bahn whisks you back towards the cruise base, Iger standing by your side. The image of the engineer's body disintegrating in flame replays itself over and over in your mind. The bright flash, the shower of sparks, the overpowering stench of sizzling meat. A blue-green after image hangs suspended in the center of your field of vision, and it refuses to be blinked away. From what Iger told you, the engineer was a menace, an international criminal at the top of his game, and as you watched, he was consumed from within by a device that marked him as disposable. The rattle of your U-Bahn car coming to a halt shakes you from your reverie. You're home. We're going to leave it there, guys. I can't think of a better place to leave it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you guys next time.